Yes. Oh my God, we're here. This is awesome.
Sorry about the inconveniences to everyone. Zoom just didn't like us today.
Yeah, so we've obviously I tested this earlier, but I'm super lame, so it stopped working the minute I had Alex on. Anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to our very first Survivor Live with Alex, that guy, and Brianna, that's me. And we apologize for the delay. Um, hi, Alex. I'm kind of calling
Hello.
him from California, and this guy is like a foreigner.
Yeah, I'm a foreigner. I'm calling in all the way from Germany, and I'm up here late at night to do this just because, American times are very convenient for me. But I
Yeah.
chose this life.
2 a.m. Exactly. I appreciate it and good job starting the the live. We'll have this sorted out by next week. Anyway, thank you. If you're still here, we really appreciate it. And or we paid you, and I can't remember which. So welcome. And Survivor 41. What the hell? I'm so excited. So Alex, I just have to say full disclosure, Alex watched this hours, like 3 hours before me. And I'm
I
like, how the fuck is
did.
this possible? He's in
I
Germany.
streamed it on the internet because I'm a bad boy, and that's usually how I get it done. Like, I don't think you can stream like internationally with Paramount Plus. So, I
I
use like
couldn't even
the.
figure out how to stream it nationally with Paramount Plus. It's extremely annoying.
I'm not
So I'm
sure if
like,
I can
what?
say that. I'm not sure if I can say that like on a live stream. Like somebody's gonna knock me
Yeah,
over the
shh,
head and be
don't
like,
tell
"Shh."
anyone. Yeah,
So
exactly. It'll be shut down by tomorrow. Anyway, so I appreciated the fact that you wouldn't send me your notes so you didn't spoil it. So what were your overall impressions of the episode?
I think that honestly, like it was refreshing to have like a Survivor premiere again. I love that it was 2 hours because there have been Survivor premieres that were just way too clumped into each other and you don't really get to know people. This time I feel like you got to know a lot of interesting perspectives. I really like that they included like recent, like current topics. I like that they talked
Yeah,
about, LGBT history and um and
the pronouns, all the gender pronouns and stuff, and
right.
how times have changed. Jeff Probst had long hair, which was
I
fine. So many things have changed. He looked
know.
terrible. I'm just gonna say that. I thought he looked like he aged 5 years since the last time we saw him. Is that mean?
No,
I'm
but it's
catty
okay.
bitch.
I mean, I'm not really like tuning to watch Survivor for Jeff's hair or something like that,
No, but I
Not much.
always still have to like comment on everyone's fashion in here because I'm petty like that. Anyway, I was super excited that it came back. Like, I'm such a geek that I almost felt like crying. I was like, finally.
I feel like the US Survivor is the only one that I ever really am able to get into because I know like how to stream it live. Because everything
Yeah.
else, like
Oh,
I've had
it's way
trouble.
later. So
Yeah, I've had trouble getting into. So every time Survivor US happens, I'm like, I know that a lot of people that I know watch this and I know where I can access it. So I'm gonna jump right at it.
that's awesome. Yeah. It was. So the difference between you and me is that it's like I'm old. And that's important because like Heather, and I wrote everyone's names down because I'm such a big stoner that I won't remember. Heather has watched every episode since episode 1. Well,
Mhm.
same here. I
I commend
remember
that.
the feeling.
I commend that, but I don't think that was a smart detail to reveal in front of everyone because she's
Good
about to
point.
play for $1 million. You don't need to reveal to people that you're a super fan because people are crazy. They like read into it too much.
It's true. Yeah, no, I can imagine. It's like you suspect them more because they know
Mhm.
everything. Then again, you know me because we played an online Survivor like game together. Had watched every single episode of Survivor twice with the recent
Mhm.
refresher. And tell me I still wasn't like the second least savvy player on there. I'm gonna say, Molly, forgive me if you're here. Randy was less savvy than me, but he had a legit excuse. He literally hadn't watched it before.
I think that I
You
think that
coached
playing the
me.
game is very different to like actually watching it. So I don't blame you at all.
Well, my whole point of saying that I'm old and I've watched every episode wasn't to, identify with Heather, but just to say, like, I legit felt emotional because this is the first year in 20 years that Survivor hasn't happened. And it's like one of those constants in my life, like death and taxes. So, anyway, so I was extremely, extremely happy about that. And so overall, so now they've changed everything. It's 26 days long, and I don't know how I feel about that or what's going to
I'm
happen.
not like a fan of
Everything's
it, but
no. Why? Do you think there's going to be fewer episodes? That was my big question.
I don't think there's gonna be fewer episodes, but there are like certain moments in Survivor where people have like raw conversations about things, and
Yeah, they might not
I
show
just
it.
fear that all of these episodes are gonna turn like into super game body like
Like all
situations that I
challenges or
yeah, all
whatever.
challenges, all strategy,
Yeah.
all this, all
Because I
that, you
know, why
know.
didn't we even see their shelter? I was like, what
Hmm.
the actual fuck?
Yeah, like
Um, oh
people have
my
said
God.
people have said a lot in the
Mary's
past
texting me
that
and asking if she can help. Does that mean we're not on the live stream? Is
oh, I
anyone
think
there?
we are.
Is there
We should be.
anybody out there? There.
We should be. Um,
Yeah.
oh, Pat said that it's amazing how something as simple as a TV show can become such an integral part of our lives. It's true
Pat, you're
though.
there. Pat. I
It's
love
true
Pat.
though. Like,
Yes.
it's weird because I don't think that without Survivor I would be where I'm at in life right now because it's taught me so much. I met so many people through that show that's not even airing where I live. And it's incredible, really.
It connects people across nations. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I was super emotional to have it back and I was excited. It looks like there might not be any immunity idols. Did you get that feeling? That there
Um,
were not any immunity the
I
beware thing that Jeff hit, that's like not an immunity idol, but we don't actually know if there are immunity idols this season.
mhm. I have no clue like what he hid. I don't I don't think that he would ask for immunity idols at tribal council if there weren't any hidden. But I think that when you look at the added factor of like this new twist where like you roll a die, you pull a piece of paper, you're safe or not.
Yeah,
Maybe that's like
that's
their
like
modern
whatever though,
definition
but
of a
that's
hidden
like
immunity
whatever
idol.
advantage. It's just that everyone
Mhm.
starts out with it.
But it's true, like idols haven't really been a big plot point of the episode besides when the two dudes, was it Danny and Deshaun? Those were the two, ran off and
Yeah,
started looking for one. Outside of those, it's not
right.
really like it was a big plot point. I think there will be some, but they just haven't been relevant to the content of the episode.
So it would be kind of cool if there was no immunity idols, but they didn't know that. So they keep looking. And that's what I kind of thought was going on, but I wasn't sure. And I also wasn't sure if Danny and Deshaun were actually looking for an immunity idol.
It
But as
definitely
far
looked
as
like
not
it.
showing every detail, I know it looked like it, but like also didn't they break their stick? Because I thought they might be going to get another stick, but I was hoping you would know.
I honestly did not pay enough attention. I just like listened to that confessional by Nazir, um,
Yeah,
pointing
he
out
was
that they might be looking
pissed.
for an idol. Yeah.
Right.
And
That guy who
um
learned how to speak English watching Survivor.
it really resonated with me because that's how I learned
Honestly.
too.
No, really?
I like my English got significantly better when I started talking to Survivor fans online. So when he said
Okay,
that, it
people,
like
if
hit
you don't
something.
know Alex, you will not know this. This man is in Germany, is from Germany, and this is his second language, but you sound American. It's eerie, dude. It's eerie. So there you
Thank
go,
you.
Jeff Probst. Look what he's brought to your life. It's beautiful. Okay, what did you think about the gender pronoun situation? So he
um
says to them all, he's like, okay, well, what do I always say? Come on in, guys. And what should I say now? It's a new time. Should we be using the pronoun guys? And at work, we have like these, gender inclusive language seminars. We're not allowed to say guys. So what was
Mhm.
your impression of that and how it went down?
It actually honestly sparked a conversation with someone as I was like commenting on the episode live because I was personally ignorant to how the word guys was not inclusive. So I think
Right.
that it was an important thing to bring up. I don't really understand the outrage on social media. I think people there's so many other
There was
things to be
outrage
upset
about it.
about. There was outrage on social media, which I totally didn't
Wait, that they would
understand.
call him, that he would use the word or not, that
No,
anyone would
that
challenge the use of the word.
people were like shitting on Rickard for like pointing out
I
that
would loved him for that. I was
he
like, thank
had an issue
you.
with it. Yeah, and I didn't really understand it. Like I took it as an opportunity to like get educated and ask like what's wrong about the word. I got my answer from it, and
Yeah.
ideally other people would have taken the same approach, but unfortunately it just gave people another reason to be upset about something that's really not worth being upset about. So I personally
Yeah, I
think it's
know
nice
that
that it
one
was
I don't get
highlighted.
either.
I don't like how it was received by people.
That is very interesting. And I really purposely was not checking social media because I didn't want to, like, I wanted to come in fresh with you on this. But like I
Mhm.
said, at work, we're not supposed to say guys when it's a mixed group of genders. Now, I thought Rickard was an interesting person to bring that up because he's got like a very interesting gender situation going on in his household where I was just like, whoa, never thought about that one, where his husband is a pregnant trans man. So no wonder he's got, I mean, there's a lot of gender stuff happening in his household and a lot of shit he's going to be explaining to his kids. So,
Mhm.
like, if anyone was going to bring it up, I see why he said that because he knows it's really important to be identified as the gender that you identify with,
Yeah.
and that if you identify as a woman, then somebody shouldn't call you guy. Like,
Mm.
what if
And
someone called his husband, hey gal?
people put like the responsibility on Evie because they're non-binary and they're like, wow, like if someone like Evie says they're fine with it, why would Rickard have a problem? And I'm just like, that's such a close-minded view on the whole situation. Like I think
Well, yeah, I think so too. But whatever. I think that the point is that times change, our values
exactly,
change, and we change the
exactly,
fucking way we do things. Like we changed a lot of
exactly.
stuff. Exactly. We've been practicing our microphone techniques.
Exactly. I really don't
Hell, I've been
understand why people
drinking,
get
but
so worked
Alex
up
has
over it.
not be. I'm just gonna set the precedent now from
I
here until the end. I'm
yeah,
gonna be the drunk one.
I generally liked like the amount of LGBT stories that have been highlighted in the episode.
Yeah, no, I did too. And I also liked the percentage of white to non-white individuals. That was impressive. But mostly, let me be real, what really struck me, and you saw my notes, was how many fucking hot guys there were, because they were super, super hot. I'm sorry. I was like, I couldn't see anything else except all those hot guys with long hair. I was all in 100%. I know you said JD's gonna get voted off, but I'm like, please don't vote him off now. Like, let me look at that man for just a
I don't
little
I see
longer.
the thing with JD, like outside of his looks, is just I put that in my notes that I'm sorry I didn't share with you. Um, I was actually shocked that his enthusiasm was not well received because typically someone that's like so hyper and so excited about the game, like okay, it's the game, and it seemed like it was being edited positively. Like he was building solid relationships, he got something going on with Brad and was
Right.
being friendly with everyone. And the next thing you know is
No one
people like,
trusts him.
this is really strange. And I'm like, this dude seems really cool. Like I would want to be friends with JD.
I want to hang with JD too. So
And
I did not understand it.
I genuinely liked like his buff placement. I see, I was wondering, because
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen this
that was pretty
before.
original, man. Fashion
I've
forward book
seen this
placement.
before, and I was wondering if that had any meaning to it, and I should probably look up if it had any
All
meaning.
I could think of
But
was like, how do you tie that with one hand? That's pretty
that
skillful.
was something that like stuck to me right away.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, I was like generally very like pleasantly surprised with JD, like added aside and what people in the
Same.
game set aside.
Yeah. So let's talk for a second about that funky thing where he and Deshaun, right? Was it Danny? I don't know everyone's names very well. The other dude with
Mm.
the so Xander was there, and what's the other guy's name? Was that Danny or
Um,
Deshaun? Because they were always together. So no, it was
I
Deshaun, the
think
football player dude. So Deshaun, Xander, and JD, all the hot guys with long hair going up the hill, and this challenge, and I'm like, I had many thoughts. One was like, motherfucking, that's a long ass hike. I'm tired just watching them. I'm exhausted.
mhm.
That's why I could never be on Survivor. But like, I couldn't tell. Was it the edit? They didn't show what everyone's choice was, did they? And they didn't really reveal it in the end either. I was so confused by that challenge. I mean, whatever that, I mean, I guess
Like
it's a
the
challenge,
vote
right?
risk, the
Yeah,
risking
what
the
the
vote.
hell? Can you
They
explain
revealed
that?
they revealed everything in
Okay,
the end. So basically in the end they had like the opportunity to like protect their vote or risk their vote. If everyone risked their
right.
vote, then they would all lose their vote. But if
Okay,
someone
so they
protected
all
their vote,
risked. Okay, got it.
if someone protected their vote and the rest
Yeah,
risked, everyone who risked got an extra vote. And Xander and JD both got an extra vote, whereas was it
which means they
Deshaun?
risked, and Deshaun chose protect. But they were the
Yeah.
only, he was the only one that they showed in the moment what he chose, right? Okay, I'm
Um,
so lame because I
they
totally
they
lost track of
showed
that. And then I didn't know who was lying, but JD
they
was lying, right?
they showed um also it was Danny. I just had to look up. I was really sure that it was
It was
Danny and I
Dan,
did
the
not
guy with
want
the dreads is Danny. Okay.
I just like had to look it up because something
They
didn't
were
sound right
together, so
about.
now I don't remember.
Yeah, Pat
All I
also
want to
just said
say is
football
the
player Danny.
hot dude with the dreads.
Um,
Like he doesn't even need a name, not
but
him or JD. Just let me look at them all day.
mhm,
I don't
it
care.
showed that
It's shallow.
Danny protected. It showed that Xander risked and he was very open about it to his tribe.
Right.
And
Yeah.
JD's was a mystery, but towards the end of the
Yeah.
episode, when they went to vote,
We
it
can
was revealed that
infer.
JD
Yeah.
got it.
We risked it. Yeah. So that was pretty interesting, definitely. So who else do you have any strong impressions of on this cast?
Um,
And also you're checking out chat, so let me know if anyone has anything interesting to share. Because I cannot
yep,
multitask
I
that
will.
much.
So people that like stuck to me were definitely Shan, like Mafia
Yeah.
Pastor. She like the first thing that I wrote down, my first thing on my notes was Mafia Pastor. And then later throughout my notes, eventually I was like, Shan is definitely the Mafia Pastor. Like she was in it with everyone, she was in everyone's ear, everyone was trusting her, everyone was telling her about the plans. And it was just really great to watch. I really enjoyed
Don't you think
watching.
they're gonna find out though, and then she's gonna be screwed? Like, I feel like people like that are they're like walking such a thin line. Like they're betting that their social skills will take them so far that people won't realize that like she's saying the same shit to everybody. But I find that to be kind of naive, frankly. I think you can make a big mistake with that.
Yep.
But I did like how she had her own villainous soundtrack. That was pretty cool.
mhm. I
And
don't
I think
actually.
that there's a possibility that she could make it very far into the game. And Xander, those were my two picks for like from this vantage point of who could make it to the final four. Did you have any thoughts about that? Like who could make it to final four or who could win? Just from here, I know limited vantage point. I'm thinking like every week we could see if our perspectives have changed and see if
Mhm.
how wrong or right we are.
Right.
So right now my money's on Shan or Xander, and I'm curious what your thoughts are.
Mhm. Pat was gonna throw in that she's originally from Canada. I believe that was about Shan. We simply must stand. I agree.
Okay, then we love her. Okay, we love
Um,
her so much.
so
Anyone who
it's
Pat likes, I'm in. Like, that's
it's
my
it's
favorite.
possible. It's possible that maybe there will be like a throwaway person from the Blue Tribe. But
Yeah.
like nobody from the Blue Tribe really like stuck out
Yeah.
particularly to me in a way that was like super um how do I say it? That it was like very um like
Like
positive, I
notable, someone who
guess.
really stuck.
Notable,
Oh,
yeah.
positive.
Like
Yeah.
I definitely agree that Xander stood out because initially
Yeah.
I wasn't sure like if he was getting any content, and when he actually got content, it showed like a side of him that you don't expect from a 20-year-old surfer dude, you know, very smart, very well spoken, very intelligent. Um, I obviously think that Chan has a good shot based on like the edit and her
Yeah.
overall pull and tribe. And I talked about this like when we were off stream, but I think like my dark horse pick would be Voce because
Oh,
um
that's right. Yeah.
it's like a similar situation that I had in Edge of Extinction. I observed that Julie was getting confessional content while Kama was winning the whole time, like content that she didn't necessarily have to get. Anyone could have been assigned that. And I feel similarly about Voce because um you know, Voce got like this fun little, oh my God, do you like this twist is stupid. Next thing you know, I have to go
He's the
fetch
one
water.
doing it. I know.
Yeah.
That
And
was like beautiful karma for some reason. I was like,
mhm. And like
I don't know why though.
when you look at that, this technically could like technically Xander could have stolen the scene with his suggestions, but this scene kind of belonged to Voce. And it's like
Yeah.
those little cues that make me think someone makes a little further in the game because they are given airtime that they don't have to get necessarily.
Yeah. I just never even pay attention to that. So keep pointing those
Mm,
things out because
also,
I
like, I
get
don't
very
know.
like sucked in. But didn't you think it's cool? They're like breaking the fourth wall, showing the
Mhm.
cast. And there's this game within a game component, which I totally forgot to look up because I'm a shitty podcast host.
I didn't
But
really
like the game
notice.
within, no, that GWG was game within a game. And
Mhm.
Jeff said in the beginning, he's like, for those of you too young to be on Survivor, there's a game within a game. So if we were good podcast hosts, we would have looked that up by now. But for next time, we can do it.
I think that it's a little difficult,
Now I
like
can see the
generally,
comments.
because
Pat, thanks
um
for commenting, Pat.
I think there are so many people that actually got airtime and so many people that got positive airtime. Like when I look at the list of names again, like Ricard got like subtle airtime and he wasn't in
I
the know
love
of what was
him, by the
happening.
way. I
Um
want him to win, but he can't because he's too cool. I just know it.
I
Like they're gonna
like
all see him as a threat.
Xander got good content, Evie got good content, Danny got good
And
content.
Ricard's my favorite of everyone.
JD, JD,
JD, I just want to look at.
I think JD is gonna be a character, but I don't think he's like a
He's not
character
gonna make
for
it.
being like the player. I think he's gonna be a
Yeah.
character for being a character, and that's almost entirely by
Yeah.
the fact that he not only had the most confessionals, but people also viewed him negatively. And when you have negative confessionals, the first episodes, it can go two ways. Either it's a red herring and you actually make it to the end, or you're set up to be like a character that's like enjoy it while it lasts, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if the players get any nudges to keep certain people on or to vet them out.
I have no clue. The only people that can ever
You
answer that
know,
are
like, don't vote this
the
guy out
people
till
that actually
sixth round. We
play.
need him for ratings.
Mm,
Yeah,
no
that would
clue.
be fucked up. I would hope not. It was weird too, two tribals in one night. That was a little odd. I mean, just different. Everything's different.
It makes
I'm not
sense,
sure
you
I
know,
want it to be different though. I don't
26
know how I feel about
days,
that.
a premiere, like a double boot. It was exciting, it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it honestly like cuts out a filler episode that's
That's a
gonna
good
take
point.
someone out that's
Yeah.
like under edited at some point, honestly. And like what bothered me about it though, however, is that a lot of people were given content Abraham, who was one of the people voted out ultimately, got like almost no content. The only content that we saw of Abraham was him
Yeah, it was him being a dick.
throwing Tiffany under the bus, saying she needs to go, and then Liana being like, "Oh, Tiffany, he's talking shit about you," and um voting him out. Like that to me was a crystal
Right.
clear elimination. As soon
Yeah.
as Yellow lost, I was like, "Yep, they're voting
So I
Abraham
mean,
out."
obviously, like he came across as kind of an asshole, and they voted him off. But like the whole, to win in challenges, we need strength thing. Is that wise or is it not? I mean, there are many kinds of challenges, but like, trust me, if I was on your fucking team, you would lose because I can't do one of those challenges. I can't do any of that. Like they're so physical,
Mhm.
I walk on my treadmill and do like gentle
I
yoga. Like that's about
I
it.
think
Not
I
gonna
think
happen.
people I think people who find out that they're going to be on Survivor take a lot of like time to prepare and get fit. And I don't
Right?
know,
They
was it
must.
Tiffany? Wait, did I put it in my notes? Someone mentioned that they were an alternate, which really
Tiffany.
surprised. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tiffany mentioned she was an alternate in her confessional,
Right.
which first off, I was super surprised that they mentioned that, like in a
Right.
confessional. But I think she was put at a little bit of a disadvantage because people who flew out there probably had more time to prepare
That's a
physically.
really good point. I
And
didn't
she knew
even think about
24
that.
hours beforehand. So that probably,
Yeah.
like,
No
I'm
time to
glad she was given
prepare.
a chance. I'm glad she
Yeah.
was given a chance.
I have two really important things to bring up. One of
Yeah.
them is Brad's hair. I just have to say, I told you, I always notice everyone's hair and fashion choices, and I know their fashion, a lot of it is determined for them. But Brad's hair, man, is straight out of 1978. And I say that because I was alive then, but I still find it offensive. So vote that fucker off just because of his poor coiffure. I'm not
It's
down
not
with
even
it.
just like his hair. Like, I think Brad in general has showed questionable strategy this
He's a
episode.
dick. I can tell
Um,
he's also like really sexist. I just feel that, like, I can smell it out.
I'm not sure, but I thought the idea to say that she wants to vote Sarah or Shan out in front of
Yeah.
Sarah and Shan was
I know. Hello, like, don't put all your cards on the table, dumbass.
it was very Garrett and Kagayan trying to have a public discussion to vote GT out
Yeah,
to
right.
me. I was like, what is this guy doing? I thought that Brett was gonna get voted out as a result of that, to be honest.
I'm shocked he didn't. It's kind
I'm
of
I'm not
amazing.
really like when it comes to Sarah being voted out,
Mhm.
the thing that I noticed about Sarah was that they gave her a very like one line story. Like it's perfectly fine and perfect people are perfectly valid to have emotions on the show. People are gonna have emotions on Survivor. Um, and the thing is that they basically edited Sarah as a crybaby. Like she started off the
Yeah,
episode like crying about,
right.
you know, a family situation, and then they lose the
Mhm.
challenge. The first person they show is Sarah crying, and I was like, why are they making her look like all she does is cry? And eventually it
Maybe
comes
she
out
does,
in
though.
I I don't really think so. Like
Some people are like that.
she seemed like she had herself together in the conversations with people and like at tribal
Yeah.
council. It felt weird to me that they edited her as
It
like
might have just
the
been that's
emotional,
could be the edit. Yeah.
yeah. Um
I don't know. So who would you say would be the
this
MVP of this episode?
this hold on. I'm
I
just reading
see that.
comments.
Brad said
Brad is
that.
straight out of 1978.
Yeah,
Brad
so
is straight
that's
out of
Brad, who
79.
used to be my co-host for 90 Day Fiance podcast.
And it
Brad
feels like
looking
Peter
good. I can't
Hardy.
actually see, but you look good. And yeah, he is right out of 1979, yo.
Okay, I'm sorry to like divert. You asked who the MVP is. I think the
Yeah, who's the
MVP of the
MVP?
episode was
Mm-hmm.
Shan, hands
Okay.
down.
What did I
Mm,
write? I wrote a note, but because now I've had two drinks, I have no clue what it was. Who did I say was the MVP? I might have put Shan or Xander.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that Evie would be a good person to put in the slot too,
I
just
like her
because
so much. She's
um
awesome. She's smart.
they
PhD from fucking Harvard. Are you kidding me right now?
um like the thing about Evie is that they just had like full grasp on the tribe. You saw them like talk with Liana about like aligning with the two strong guys, and you got a really great perspective of where they stand in the tribe. And I don't see them
Yeah.
being voted out
Yeah.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Ricard could also be a good contender for MVP because I do think it was cool that he stood up for the inclusive language. Whether or not I agree with it, like I am not personally insulted by being called guys. I, find it congenial, but
mhm.
whatever. I still think it's important if anyone feels uncomfortable to just change it. At work, they're
Mhm.
like, you could always
Um,
use the word y'all,
I would disagree, only because I think a lot of his storyline um revolved around wanting to get JD out and
Yeah,
him being like uncomfortable with JD like strategically,
true.
and then the vote is not JD. Like I think that maybe it's built up for possible rivalry like throughout the season, but if Ricard was MVP of the episode, he would have said JD sketchy. We would have seen JD get voted out.
Oh, interesting perspective. Okay, so the power that he wields is that yardstick, it sounds like for you.
The evil song Shane hums to herself. She is a pastor. She's the mafia pastor. I wrote that down.
By the way, that is my co-host for 90 Day Fiance and my partner in Kiki and Kibitz. Hi, Mary. Looking good, girl. So who did you find to be the biggest asshole, or as you more politely put it, flop of the episode?
Um, I think that honestly, like Brad showed questionable gameplay. Obviously, like um, to be honest,
Abraham.
to a degree, I had Sydney there because like the only memorable thing you saw about Sydney was her like throwing out a guy under the bus like immediately for no good reason. And
Yeah.
I guess by an extent, like Nazir, he had good intention, but like
Yeah.
he, ultimately the edit left him like negatively. I think that the intention was good, and I also thought that it was like not the best idea to go hunt for an idol where everyone can see you.
Yeah.
But wasn't like highlighted the right way.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? I don't
Anyway,
really
so
think
I
that
feel
anyone
like,
else stood out.
yeah, I don't either, but I look forward to the next episode and we'll see. Because
Me
usually it's
too.
like the person you think's gonna win gets voted out on episode 2. At
Mhm.
least I'm really naive about these things. So do you have any last thoughts before we sign off? I do want to ask everyone to please subscribe because then you'll get a notification of when we're going to be live. And next time I'm going to let Alex do it so that I know it works.
um, I'm hopeful when it comes to this season. I'm not really like a fan of the twist, the tribal council, but it is what it is. Like you're not gonna like everything. Um, but I think that this is going to be interesting to follow. Like a lot of people are getting very balanced content. They hope that we get to see a little more from Blue, but it's understandable we didn't because they didn't go to tribal council.
Yeah.
But so far it's nice that everyone appears to fit in and matter to this story as opposed to other seasons where some people were just simply ignored and not acknowledged
Yeah.
at all. And
Yeah.
that makes me happy for the people who invested their time and decided to fly out their own play, to be recognized and to actually be able to show what they're made of.
Very cool. My last impression that I want to share is motherfucker, I want to go to Fiji. This is bullshit. Like, I'm
I'm waiting
still
for the
here.
international season. I'm ready for Jeff to fly me out there one day.
Yeah, right. Oh God, they need like a world version where people are just mixed up from multiple countries. Why don't they have
Exactly.
that? Yeah.
Probably
Anyway,
a cost thing and a politics thing and a visa thing. A lot of layers.
bullshit. And I'm gonna tweet at Jeff Probst, but he never answers my tweets, just like he said. It's really depressing. And I do think too that we should try to get some guests on this season. I was mentioning to you that Lex lives near me, but not only that, he plays in a band with someone I know. So like I'm gonna see if I can call in some favors on that one.
We'll
Need
see
some
how it
favors.
gets, how far it gets us. It will be
No,
super fun.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's see
Anyway,
how this
thanks to
develops. It was
everyone who
super fun.
stayed this long, even after my giant fuck up. I appreciate you. And Pat, I just want to say I still want you to read me sleep stories. And so I think you should call Calm because I want you on the Calm app. Pat has the most soothing voice of anyone I know.
Maybe we should have him as a guest one day.
Well, we should have everyone as a guest. Everyone, come
Eventually,
on.
yeah,
Now we have to
there's
figure out
friends.
like how to get a third person onto the live because
Oh, it's super
we haven't
easy. We'll
gotten
just
that
invite
tech.
them to we'll just invite them here. Super easy. You don't need
Yeah,
to worry
you mean
about
on the
anything. I
Zoom?
got you
Okay,
covered.
all the technical stuff is you, bro. All right. Well, thanks again to everyone for joining us, and
Thank
we'll be
you.
here next week, starting on time with less technical difficulties. Promise, promise,
I
promise.
am sure,
I hope
promise.
everyone has a great night, morning, afternoon, weekend, nighttime,
Good time
weekday,
wherever
wherever the
you
hell you
are.
are. Yeah.
See you guys. Thank you very much.
See you
And
next time.
yeah, next time on Survivor.
Yes. Peace out.